run. While Queensland comes into this game with little respect or expectations, who will prevail? Find out next on LFL Football Night.
Life comes down to moments. Moments of triumph and moments of failure. Tonight is my moment. Tonight is our moment on a stage for the world to see. The battle begins now for LFL supremacy in Australia.
You are looking at the beautiful Gold Coast of Australia, site of LFL Football Night. Hello, LFL fans. Mitch Mortaza joining you. Sarah Godfrey a little bit later down on the field. And John Rowe, my trusted partner in the booth here, former gridiron legend here in Australia.
Thank you.
Now, John, here we are, #1 versus #4 ranked, the Western Australia Angels versus the Queensland Brigade. A lot of people are not giving Queensland any hope in this game. But can WA on the opposite end of that kind of relax and coast through this game?
Read my lips. No way, not tonight. WA need to bury Queensland. Because let's not forget, they lost to the Maidens only just a couple of weeks ago. Sure. And the Surge are now 2-1. They got to try and keep up with the Surge in this race to the Cup final. Right, tonight, WA need to bury Queensland. And let's not forget, they're playing them again. I think it's February the 1st in Perth. That's going to be a crazy game. Leah Turnbull tonight. She's shown flashes of brilliance. She can be an elite quarterback, but for my mind, she's not consistent. She needs to prove that on the field tonight. As a defense, collectively, I thought they did quite well against the Maidens. Yes, not too bad, but they need to be really, really well gelled as a team tonight to stop Tamar Fennell. And also, Brittany Wary, she was the star on offense. But tonight, she's got an ankle injury, so who's going to replace her?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big loss. The 18-year-old sensation who's really contributed to this offense. They're going to think Tegan Brown is going to be able to spell Brittany Ware. Tegan's was their starting running back, struggled there a little bit. They flanked her at receiver. They have high hopes for her, especially tonight. Now, for Queensland, they're coming into this as 0-1, still very much so alive in the Legends Cup race. And for a closer look at Queensland, we go down to the field with the third member of our broadcast team, Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, Mitch. There definitely seems to be some anger around the Queensland camp tonight due to lack of respect shown by the other teams. They did lose 44-6 in the opening game against the Surge, but the Queenslanders felt it was a close game despite the margin. In offense tonight, they will look to team leader and quarterback Jane Caldwell, who is out to show the doubters wrong. But there is definitely some question marks around defense as they don't seem to have a clear-cut leader. Cody House could be the answer tonight as she fits the physical description of a strong linebacker. This will either validate the Queensland critics or silence them. So time will tell. Go Queenslander. Back to you guys.
Certainly a national television stage for Queensland to prove itself. Next up, it's the #1 ranked Western Australia Angels versus the #4 ranked Queensland Brigade. Kickoff is next. Queensland Brigade versus the Western Australia Angels at NIB Stadium. Then the grand final, Saturday, February 8th, also at NIB Stadium. For tickets, go to ticketmaster.com.au or visit the NIB Stadium box office. LFL Football, sports ultimate live experience. We are back to the Gold Coast in Australia. The Western Australia Angels versus the Queensland Brigade. And now we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, Mitch. I'm down here on the field with team leader and quarterback Jane Caldwell. Jane, there's been a lot of talk about the lack of respect for your team amongst other clubs. How does that make you feel as a player, and will it impact the game tonight?
Well, you know, we just block out that negative noise that doesn't come into our team. So anything like that, we just block it out. We don't even listen to it. So tonight, we're just going to do our job. We're just going to focus, and hopefully we're going to bring home that win for our crowd tonight.
Got a great crowd behind you, that's for sure. Back to you guys.
I tell you what, Mitch, she's going to have to be on point tonight. She's the leader of this team, and it's such a hot night tonight. WA are going to be coming after her.
Absolutely, John. And this WA team, very important game tonight as they trail New South Wales. Eden Cara now with the kickoff return. Going to cut to the left side. Finds a little opening. And that is about it. That's Melissa Budd, the kicker, coming up to make the stop.
I thought she had some blocking there. There could have been something on, but WA swarming defense tonight.
Now Queensland's offense will take field. Before we do that, let's meet Jane Caldwell, the signal caller.
As a leader, I ensure that our locker room doesn't take in any negative feedback from outside. We're focused on our job, and that is to get a win tonight.
Mitch, it seems like for so long that these guys haven't played, she'll be critical tonight.
And she's going to need some help there from Tamar Fennell, the U.S. import.
That's a great call first up. That'll give the Brigade and Caldwell some confidence.
Absolutely, and now let's meet that Brigade offense.
Emily Thomas, centre.
Alex McCabe, tight end.
Cody House, tight end.
Jess Birtles, wide receiver.
Stephanie Schenkin, wide receiver.
Tamar Fennell, running back.
Jane Caldwell, D, quarterback.
And I'm expecting another big night from Cody House too, Mitch.
Absolutely. House had the monster game against New South Wales in the opener, but right now it is Tamar Fennell and this run game shredding this Western Australia defense. Let's meet them.
Linda Holland, defensive end.
Stephanie Lethbog, defensive end.
Brianna Edbrook, linebacker.
Tammy West, cornerback.
Tash Sergi,
Cornerback.
Tessa Atkinson, free safety.
Adrian Purnell, you're a strong safety.
I'm loving that whole secondary. Purnell and the two corners, they're going to be critical tonight, Mitch.
Sergi and Bud, perhaps two of the better tackling corners in LFL Australia. 1st and 10 again, this time from the Western Australia 20-yard line. Queensland looking impressive, but that ball came off the helmet, and it looks like Brooke Carmichael intercepted it on the deflection.
What's going on there, Mitch? There's got to be some touch from Caldwell. Looks like she just rifled it in the back of somebody's head. Let's have a look. I mean, this is amazing. Caldwell, oh, no patience, no time. Carmichael, what skills, Mitch.
That Western Australia defense gets the ball back, creating an early turnover. And we sat down earlier with Tammy West, the star wide receiver, to talk about their rookie quarterback.
I'm not worried about what people are saying, the inconsistency with my quarterback. She's young and she's getting better with every single game. And tonight, she's going to prove why she's #1.
Turnbull's got the skills to get it done. 15 completions, 35 attempts, 3 TDs on the year so far. She can get it done tonight.
Now a little trickery with Tammy West, going to take a shot on the right side. Nobody there. Proving there that they are not afraid to look down the field early. Now let's meet that WA offense.
Elise Chapman, centre.
Adrian Purnell, tight end.
Nicole Harvey, offensive line. Tammy West, wide receiver. Tessa Atkinson, running back.
Tegan Brown, running back.
Leah Turnbull, quarterback.
And Tessa Atkinson, she needs to have a big game tonight to step up at the running back position.
Several people will need to step into that Brittany Ware absence, as we talked about in the broadcast open. Now let's meet that Queensland defense.
Ty Emery, linebacker.
Lani Johnson, linebacker.
Jess Birtles, middle linebacker.
Monique Bell, defensive back.
Tamar Fennell, defensive back.
Eden Curra, strong safety.
Tony Tapui, free safety.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, that for me tonight for the Brigade, that defensive line is going to have to get it done.
Tessa Atkinson shredding through that defensive line for a first down. That was a carry of about 6 yards for the young rookie.
Just a nice simple play. Look, she's got the solid yards. The legs are pumping, hip blocking, just chipping away.
That will set up a 1st and 10 from the Queensland 13 as WA is starting to drive. Leah Turnbull in the pistol. Rex snap. They've had some problems with the snap to the right side of the field. That one's complete to Tegan Brown for 9 yards.
Gee, that was a nice pass. Turnbull's action. Elbow high, quick release. Let's have a look. Look at the arm there. Really nice side arm to the side there. Out of bounds. WA just chipping away. Loving the play calling.
I like Tegan Brown. We've not been very high on her in the broadcast this year, but she's definitely contributing at the running back position. And now she's flanked to the left side. As Turnbull's back under center, a little handoff to Adrian Purnell. That is the running back by committee that Coach J.R. Rogers had mentioned. They're going to look at several people in the backfield tonight.
They're going to mix it up tonight. If that right guard, sorry, the left guard who pulled to the right, let's have a look at the replay here. The left guard pulls right. She's just going to make a better effort to get that block. Otherwise, they're in the end zone. But they're just chipping away, and this is a really good drive by the Angels.
Now a 1st and goal here at Skilled Park along the Gold Coast in Australia. 1st and goal for the WA Angels. Little inside handoff. That's a fake handoff. Bootleg right.
There you go.
Not sure if Turnbull was strapped to an anchor. That was probably the slowest quarterback I've seen in a long time on the option.
I think it's called a long developing play, Mitch. Really nice blocking up front. Momentum took her over. That should be a score. Big fake, running right. She's waiting for the blocks to be made, and she's in.
Now a 2nd and goal at the Queensland 1-yard line. Let's see if the crowd kind of gets into this, John.
I understand, and it's been a big day, too. These teams will be right. I mean, it's been almost a 40-degree day here in Queensland. Both of these teams used to the heat and humidity.
Now a 2nd and goal play. That's Adrian Purnell breaking through the middle, the U.S. import. And she's going to get on the board early.
let me throw my hands around and talk stuff.
And they are getting at it early in this one.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Mitch, you Yanks know how to talk it up. But I tell you, Brigade almost had them stopped. Have a look at this. I'm not sure who came flying in there.
At the point of attack, that was Monique Bell.
Oh, Monique Bell almost had her stopped for a loss.
And she slammed in the face for her efforts. Surprised we didn't see a flag on that. Now a 1-point attempt from the 1-yard line. WA and a lot of teams have left a lot of points on the field with extra points, as we've talked about. They finally, and there it is again, but at least they tried for a 1-yard attempt, a 1-point attempt, I should say.
And I think that, Mitch, there's a point where viewers new to the game need to understand that sometimes you're only a yard out. Just drive, pound it in there, get it in there. Whereas if you go for the 2 points, you're a little bit 3 yards deeper. You obviously have to spread it out wider, but I'm not surprised why some of these teams don't just drive it home and get that extra point.
Coach J.R. Rogers and the Western Australia Angels on the board early. Back to 1st quarter action here at Skilled Park. And Sarah Godfrey is caught up with Leah Turnbull of the Western Australia Angels.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the sideline with Leah Turnbull. It looks like you guys are in sync. Is it because your offense is that good or their defense is just not working?
Definitely our offense is fantastic. That's a biased opinion, but we've really meshed the last couple of games and we've learnt from our mistakes and we're ready to go out there and put a lot of points on the board. So
you're definitely looking great out there, that's for sure. Back to you guys.
I think Leah's spot on. I mean, the experience and that she's got over the last couple of games, and you've just got to be in a position to let her do what she needs to do.
Now that Queensland offense going to look to stay with the run, but that time Adrian Purnell hitting the gap and stopping her good friend, U.S. import Tamar Fennell.
I think it's a good idea to stay with it, Mitch, because they were successful. It was just a bad pass from Caldwell before.
Yeah, I think you have to give Caldwell some confidence here with the run game, and there is that run game, Tamar Fennell. And now let's meet Tamar.
Attitude reflects leadership, so before we even leave the tunnel, I'm going to be hyping these girls up, bringing the energy so that we have the right attitude to win this game tonight.
I hope she's had plenty of water tonight, mate, because they've just run Tamar so far, and you know that seems to be a big game plan tonight.
Now a 3rd and 5 from the Queensland 20-yard line. Caldwell under center, looking at a possible blitz here. They pick up that blitz, and to the right, looking for Cody House in the flat. That's a pattern they had some success with against New South Wales. Just can't seem to get it to Cody.
And they had success with it right there. Caldwell's going to make a better job. That pass was around her ankles, and Cody's a big unit. So getting down that low, that'll take time.
Now a critical 4th and 5 early in this game.
Oh, Mitch, what's this? This is that new signal. We had a chance to chat with Jane Caldwell this week, and she said they were going to use some new signal calling in. I think we've just seen it.
Like to see some of those Bart Simpson images we see with Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles. And there is Caldwell, who can take off with the ball.
Oh!
That's going to be enough for a Queensland first down. And she's taken exception to the late hit on the sideline. That should be the last play of the 1st quarter. Let's take a look at this.
Is that a design? Yeah, it looks like a design run. She stepped back. Got some nice blocking, big push out of bounds. And watch this throw here. Bang. Only if she can throw that good during the game, I'll be happy.
That was a late hit by Adrian Purnell. And you got a feeling it's going to be a long night for Caldwell, especially with Furnell, as we come to end of play for the first quarter here in the Gold Coast in Australia. We return to action here at Skilled Park Stadium along the beautiful Gold Coast in Australia. Mitch Mortaza alongside John Rowe and Sarah Godfrey, as Western Australia leads this one early 6-0. First and 10 from the 23. A little pitch out to Tamar Fennell. Fennell trying to work that left side and moving the pile.
That's a rugby scrum right there, Mitch. Nice little run there. I'll be really interested to see. Now, Mitch, let's have a look at this. We tossed to the side there. Queensland have said that they're going with a new offensive play calling. They've been I mean, they've basically had 4 weeks off, mate. So I mean, they've had a chance to watch film. They've had a chance to scout. Let's see how it works tonight.
That Fennell run now sets up a 2nd and 5 at the Western Australia 18-yard line. Caldwell under center now. Going to try to run with the ball to the left side, and now fakes the pass. That looked like a possible busted play, John.
I think it was, but I'll tell you what, that wide receiver on the left, I didn't get a number there. Oh, let's talk it up, Caldwell. She's got to do a way better job of blocking, because that unbelievable. The corner just came free. The left outside linebacker blitz. They've only got 2 defensive line rushing for WA. Needs to be done a better job of blocking up front.
There seemed to be some confusion there. Not sure if that was the design play.
Might be that new play calling system, Mitch, that they've haven't tested out fully yet.
3rd and 3 now from the Western Australia 16-yard line. Let's see if they go back to Tamar Fennell. No, it's going to be Caldwell. Quick bubble screen to the left. That's going to go to Monique Bell. And Bell gets it out for about 5 yards.
That was good. That was nice. It gives Fennell a little break. Just a nice, simple pass to the side, one-on-one. That's the matchup you want. Just chip away, 5 yards at a pop.
Yeah, this is a quarterback in Jane Caldwell that has been repeatedly attacked in the media and being really ranked as the worst quarterback in Australia. So you've got to do everything and anything to build some confidence. And that goes with the Tamar Fennell run game and these quick screen option passes. Now a 1st and 10 from the Western Australia 11-yard line. Handoff to Fennell on the right side.
Big takedown.
That went for about 4 yards.
This is an interesting game plan, Mitch. I mean, we've got the run. You know what? And the run, you know what it does? It keeps the ball out of WA's hands. So if they just chip away at 5 yards at a pop, they're getting first down football. It keeps the ball out of the Angels' hands. Just like this play. Nice little simple. Just dive right, one-on-one, get some space, get the 5-yard football, make the yards.
2nd and 6 from the Western Australia 7, so Queensland can still pick up a first down at about the 1-yard line.
Look at the pressure coming from WA.
Caldwell in the shotgun. Poor snap. That's a design run to the left. Now cuts it to the right side. We've got a penalty. Caldwell still on her feet.
Good job.
Makes it down to about the 4-yard line, but we do have a penalty. And we're going to get the first call of the night from Mark Louie.
That was a nice little run there, little broken play.
That is a holding call on Queensland. It looked to be on Lanny Johnson, the right tight end.
Bit of a scramble, and that's where, Mitch, that's where you usually get the holding call. Right, oh, yes, big grab on the shoulder. That's usually what happens when the quarterback scrambles. You still got to keep your technique. I'll tell you what, Mark Louie, the referee, I could watch him all night. He's so cute. He's the most smilingest referee I've ever seen in my life.
He's going to be in a good mood as long as these two teams behave. And it has been chippy in LFL Australia all season.
Oh, that's right. I mean, last week's game was a cracker. That was chippy enough.
Now a 2nd and 11. The ball's backed up to the Western Australia 12. Caldwell once again under center, looking over the defense. Little pitch out to Tamar Fennell, who just cannot get any blocking. That was Linda Holland and Brooke Carmichael.
Mitch, there's a point there where my philosophy is if it's one-on-one, you're open and you should be able to beat. But when it's 3-on-1, you need help. And Tamar can't do this all by herself. She needs some blocking up front.
Starting to see a little bit of that frustration on Tamar Fennell's face early in this one. Now a 3rd and 13. Caldwell in the shotgun. Direct snap. Nobody available, no time in the pocket, and she's going to be sacked here, still on her feet. He's going to be sacked for a 9-yard loss by Tammy West.
What a swarming WA defense. I mean, you saw from the end shot there, Mitch, that basically what they're doing is they've got the 2 defensive tackles in what we call the A gap. So just next to the center, blitzing through there. I think they blitz 4 at a time. Caldwell needs to talk about it. I think they've taken a timeout.
This offense has been going backwards. And Caldwell looking like she might be injured on that play.
There's the double A gap blitz, plus the left outside linebacker blitz coming through. You've got to get some sort of blocking. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night.
A complete breakdown in protection. And a lot of that also has to do with the athletes Western Australia has in that front 4. Brooke Carmichael, Stephanie Lothberg, that's coming off a blown ACL. And Linda Holland, the star outside linebacker. Now a 4th and 22 from the 23-yard line. Oh, and heavy pressure. Not sure if that's an incomplete pass or potentially a fumble. Nonetheless, Western Australia will take over.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, I'm going to question the calling here. You're 4th and 1,000 miles. Get something quick to the receivers and let them make a play, or get the protection set up so you can go downtown.
That was the issue against New South Wales in the opening night. Now is the criticism of the coaching staff that they didn't adjust and put Caldwell in the shotgun. And once again, that front line is like Swiss cheese. They are not blocking anybody. Western Australia is all over Caldwell early. And now it'll be Leah Turnbull and this number 2 ranked offense of Western Australia.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the half. 2-minute timing rules.
That is Mark Louie letting us know that we are officially at the 2-minute warning of the 2nd quarter. And Queensland struggling early. Back to 2nd quarter action here. LFL football night. And before we get started, let's go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the sideline with Adrian Pennell. It looked like you and Tamar Fennell were having a go at each other. What's with that? The 2 U.S. imports.
That is all love on this field. She came to play. So did I.
There you go. Bring it.
I'm letting her know how sorry quarterback is, too.
Oh, watch out. Back to you guys.
I love you guys. You just talk it up. I mean, is there any love lost between now 2 American imports, or are they good mates?
No, I think, yeah, obviously off the field, they're great friends. On the field, they are bitter enemies. Now Leah Turnbull goes to work with 2 minutes. That looked to be a false start. No flag. A little bit of a busted play. Ugly offensive displays on both sides early.
Yeah, I would have thrown a flag for a false start on everybody but the center. Everybody moved.
Inside of 2 minutes. WA still has the timeout. Plenty of time left. Now a 1st and 10 play. Going to try the right side in the flat.
I tell you what, Mitch, Turnbull's really got to get that elbow higher. The release has got to be faster. Too slow. And I tell you what I didn't like there, Mitch, was I hate to be negative, but that Queensland Brigade defensive line has got to get pressure. It looked like they slowed up.
Not sure how much of that is their defense or that front line for Western Australia. That is one of the things they pride themselves on, is protection of the young quarterback.
Brigade just need to be going faster. It looks like they're going a little bit slower. Or it's like they need to be going faster.
Now 3rd and 9. Leah Turnbull looking for her favorite target. That is Tammy West, finding her streaking down the sideline, and it looked like the safety bit on the flat there, John.
I was going to say, how did she get so open? But yeah, they've been running the 5 and out, 5 and out. I'll tell you what, Turnbull, have a look at this throwing mechanics there. Elbows up, arm up, really nice downfield. Oh, so open.
That is West's 3rd touchdown on the season. Fast becoming a favorite of Leah Turnbull. That's Tegan Brown trying the right side.
He's in.
Looks to be good. That'll give Western Australia a commanding 14-0 lead. And you're starting to get a feeling that the wheels are coming off in Queensland.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. That to the 2 minutes, it was run, run, run. So that clock went really, really quick. And then we've had another score now with only, 51 seconds in.
That offense can strike from anywhere. A number of weapons, including Tammy West. Keegan Brown's having a big night. Tessa Atkinson is back in the lineup. Certainly Adrian Purnell there on the offense, also causing some havoc.
I think what we're seeing is both coaches testing each other out.
Now a 1st and 10 play as Jane Caldwell's back under center. Quick screen to Lanny Johnson, and Lanny just dropped that ball.
Mitch, you got to catch the ball first before you go up the field. I think it's a classic mistake of the eyes were going, who do I need to run into or miss? But I thought that was really well set up. Great job. Great throw. Blocking was to the left. Blocking was to the right. You just got to catch the ball.
Great seal blocking on the outside. But it did not matter as Lanny Johnson drops another ball. Now a 2nd and 10. Caldwell back under center. Have a heavy rush. And that ball's intercepted. Tosh Sergey in the flat stepped in front of the receiver. And that is another key turnover with nearly a minute remaining in the first half.
Let's have a look at this. I mean, great pressure by the linebacker. Bam! And then there's someone standing right in the flat. Caldwell's looking at the Angels player like, here, I'm going to throw it to you. Just, you cannot be locked in on the receiver. You need to have your head on the swivel, read the defense, and throw to your open receiver.
Stephanie Luthberg, fresh out of ACL surgery on the heavy rush there on Caldwell.
Wow.
Now Turnbull in the seam. Oh. Nobody there, a little overthrown.
The referee was open.
Yeah, just not sure the referee's in the passing tree for WA.
I tell you what, Mitch, I do like the call from Coach Rogers. Let's get another one. There's like under a minute to go in the game. Let's get another one in the end zone and go into halftime with a good momentum.
Under a minute left. The clock is stopped. Ball at the 7-yard line, so plenty of time here for WA. 2nd and goal play here. Western Australia in motion. Inside handoff goes to Tegan Brown. Tegan gets to the outside. And that's going to be another 6 points for WA. And boy, is Tegan Brown stepping up in the absence of Brittany Ware.
Absolutely, Mitch. I mean, we talked about her in the pregame, and she's really saying, I'm on the field. I'm going to do. Oh, here we go. Mark Lewis says, no way, not today. That's a holding penalty on WA. We've seen so many great tight end reverses now in the competition. A great one there, but somebody held. You're not allowed to do that.
What a big call. Taking 6 points off the board.
Run it again, Mitch. Run it again.
It was wide open.
Run it to the opposite side.
A number of new additions to this Queensland defense. And you got to figure they're still kind of learning the system.
Absolutely.
Once again, now a 2nd and goal from the 17. Turnbull to the right. Dumps it off to Tegan Brown. Tegan Brown cutting back across the field. A very similar route. Only this time it was a pass play. And it's Brown again with 6 points. It does not seem to matter what they're calling tonight, John. It's all working.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, there's a saying here, I am flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. How can someone catch a simple swing past the right and cut it back all the way to the other side? Somebody's either not doing their job, somebody's not doing their blocking, or people just aren't getting to the ball carrier. Great play by WA.
WA now lining up for a 2-point attempt. Inside handoff, that looks to be Tegan Brown.
He's there.
And Tegan will add another point. That was actually a 1-point attempt for WA. That'll increase their lead to 21-0.
Wow, that's nice momentum going into half. Coach J.R. Rogers there, right there on screen, having a bit of a chew. He's a good-looking coach. We go way back, by the way, Mitch. He'll be happy with that going into halftime.
Absolutely, exactly what everybody expected. A WA team that is peaking at the right time in the season, having lost to Victoria, but coming off a huge win against New South Wales.
That was a cracker of the game too, Mitch.
Absolutely, and now they're going to look to close out Queensland early in this one. Dane Caldwell under center now. Bootlegs to the right side, going to try to take off with the ball. Cuts back inside. You got to give her that, John. She is a gutsy quarterback.
That was a great run, but there's a point where 34 seconds or under 30 seconds to go. Get outside, save yourself, and keep the ball moving. You don't need to be a hero and cut it back in. Nice job. Off the play action fake to Tamar. She's going. She's running all the way. Get out of bounds. Don't take the unnecessary hits. She's doing well.
Now a 2nd and 1 from the Queensland 24. We're about at midfield here. Another bootleg right. Nothing there. Going to head back to the left side. A little bit of opening, but Melissa Budd coming up from that corner position. Check that. That was Tosh Sergey.
I'll tell you what, everything that Caldwell did there was 100% right. But wow, the WA defense had the backside there covered. I thought Caldwell was going to run for a mile, but the corner of the safety came up and shut that down.
Those two corners, Tosh Sergey and Melissa Budd, very disciplined and great open field tacklers.
It's showing.
A 1st and 10 now for Jane Caldwell. And this Queensland offense, bad snap, hops it back to Caldwell. Caldwell going to try the right side to pick up the 1st down. That will be enough for a 1st down.
Oh, is Caldwell injured there?
And Caldwell not getting up. This would be a pretty big blow to an already decimated Queensland offense.
That was way late out of bounds, Mitch, too. Let's have a look here. Oh, a bit of an ankle there. Bit of an ankle just twisted over there. That's not good.
That'll look to be Tessa Atkinson from WA taking a cheap shot on the sideline.
I think the refs have to clamp down on this, Mitch. We saw a couple of in the game last week and the week before. Things happening, 400 kilometres out of bounds. Refs have to step it up.
Now Monique Bell, the backup quarterback under center, staring down that defense. Now Monique Bell trying to hand it off to Tamar Fennell, and that's a fumble. That looks to be Brooke Carmichael at the bottom of that pile.
Wow.
And that will be the 3rd turnover of the 1st half for Queensland.
I'll tell you what, you've got to have a game plan for when the backup quarterback comes in. Not sure whether it's a pitch or a handoff. That's just, they simply haven't practiced that to have the backup quarterback in.
Monique Bell doing the best she can, but not sure she's even the backup quarterback, as Ashley Brazil, who is the backup on paper, was not even activated for this game for Queensland. So we'll see how big of a storyline that becomes with Jane Caldwell's injury.
Absolutely, Mitch. I mean, your whole game plan changes. You have a playbook for your starting quarterback, and you have a play for the backup. Let's see what Queensland does. But this is really good position for WA.
Now an opportunity to end this game very early.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
And there it is, down the field. Just misses Tosh Sergey. And you got to think, if Tosh Sergey continued to run under that ball. And now we got another bit of skirmish here.
A bit of wrestling, bit of WWE going on.
Right before that scrum, Tosh Sergey just seemed to stop running on the pattern. Otherwise, that might have been another 6 points for WA.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, as a receivers coach, I am livid. I am so angry when receivers run backwards. Keep running the way you're supposed to run. And otherwise, you're in the end zone. That's a terrible mistake by WA.
And the offense is always a little later to come together. Obviously, there's a lot of timing that goes into that. Once again, Brittany Ware, their #1 wide receiver opposite Tammy West, not activated tonight. Turnbull in the shotgun, going to sweep right, going to take a shot down the field again to Sergey.
Oh, what a catch. Did she catch it in bounds?
She caught that ball. Now, was she in bounds?
Let's have a look. I can't wait to see the replay on this. Talk about WA AFL skills.
They're going to say she was out of bounds, John.
Oh, boo, just give it to her because it was a great catch.
What incredible concentration by Sergey.
Let's have a look at this. Roll right, hoik it. Great throw. Catch.
And it looked like her back foot was definitely out of bounds, so a great call by the referees. Nonetheless, WA up 21-0 and a massacre here on the Gold Coast.
We get each other hurt out here because we're not doing our job. Do your job. That's it. 100%. Just go hard. If you're not sure, go hard. Terribly going hard.
A somber Queensland Brigade locker room with Tamar Fennell trying to rally the troops. Back to halftime festivities here inside Skilled Park Stadium on the Gold Coast. Mitch Mortaza alongside John Rowe. And John, what a lot of Brigade fans really feared in this one is coming to life in the first half. They're being outplayed, outcoached, and they're down 21-0.
There was hope, Mitch. In the first quarter, it looked all right. Brigade were doing okay. But I tell you what, the miscues, the fumbles, the bad execution, WA have taken opportunities against that and seen it. The floodgates have opened. They're the better coach team, the more polished all-round team, and I think the score really reflects that.
The scoring started early with Adrian Purnell taking in this 1-yard touchdown run. That gave WA an early 6-0 lead. That was followed by their ace wide receiver, Tammy West, on this 21-yard touchdown pass from Leah Turnbull, giving WA a commanding 14-0 lead. Then right before the half, after another Queensland turnover, it was Tegan Brown taking in this 17-yard touchdown pass from Turnbull. That's where we are, 21-0 at halftime. Now let's take a look at the stats, John.
I tell you what, Mitch, not exactly the offensive explosion from WA, but they're not doing too bad. It's very, very balanced. 20 yards on the ground, 47 in the air. Leah Turnbull's done a great job tonight, as we'd hoped. She's showing that skill that she's got. But, I mean, 3 turnovers from the Brigade. Jane Caldwell, I think she's only completed 1 pass and thrown 2 interceptions. You can't win a game.
Certainly cannot. It seems like WA is in a class of their own as the teams return to the field and we get ready for second half action. Queensland Brigade versus the Western Australia Angels at NIB Stadium. Then the grand final, Saturday, February 8th, also at NIB Stadium. For tickets, go to ticketmaster.com.au or visit the NIB Stadium box office. LFL football, sports ultimate live experience. Back to action here in the second half, LFL football night. It's the Western Australia Angels and the Queensland Brigade as we look at our 2 starting quarterbacks first half action, John.
I mean, wow, it's chalk and cheese, as we say here, mate. Basically, you got Turnbull going downtown because the running game is working so well, and Caldwell only completing 1 pass and a very short one. Otherwise, you know, the coaches aren't giving her the opportunity to throw, or she's not throwing.
Now Tamar Fennell going to get the second half started. Deep kickoff. And that ball looked to have been gone out at about the 20-yard line, so it should be excellent field position for WA.
That was a shanker. That was a hook shot like my golf swing. That's not a really good way to start off the first play of the second half.
Apparently it went out at about the 15-yard line. Tack onto that another 5-yard penalty, and WA starts in great field position. Now an inside handoff to Adrian Purnell. And Adrian Purnell cranks out 9 yards.
Mitch, I'll tell you what I'm loving this week from the WA Angels. The snaps from the center to the quarterback, they've been on the money tonight. I tell you what, have a look at this play. Right up the middle. Just a straight middle dive. Right, I'd be running that all night long until somebody could stop it.
That 9-yard burst by Purnell will set up a 2nd and 1. That is the running back by committee that Coach J.R. Rogers mentioned will be the attack. 2nd and 1 now from the Queensland 21. There's a little inside handoff to Tegan Brown on the right side. Now she cuts back to the middle of the field. And a touchdown saving tackle.
I think that's a TD saving tackle by Sasha Mahuka. She's one of the brand new players to this Brigade squad, doing a great job there. But what a run by WA. Have a look at this. I think this is a great little chip block. Put on the afterburners around the outside. Bam! Stopped them just short of the goal line, but WA are moving.
We have not seen Tegan Brown perform like this all season. But tonight she's been in the backfield. As we said earlier, she's flanked out as a receiver. Now a 1st and goal play. Handoff goes to Adrian Purnell. Purnell on the left side. That'll go for another 6 points. And she is a big bruising running back.
I'll tell you what, somebody needs to buy that left tackle, I think it is, a left guard there. Oh, no, it was the center. The center pulls the seal block on the end. Oh, great job by the O-line.
That was one of the concerns for Queensland coming into this game, their lack of size, especially with WA in that size up front. Now from the shotgun, Turnbull going for 2 points. That's no good, intended for Tammy West.
Nice pressure from the left side cornerback there.
Tammy West again, the target for Turnbull. Her and Brown having a great season thus far. And a big night here in Queensland. Now Jane Caldwell will try to salvage something out of this half.
Yeah, absolutely, Mitch. I mean, I think I said it in the last week's game as well, is I hope it's not a case of Brigade losing this game. I mean, WA are putting points on the board, but they're coming off, it's coming off Brigade turnovers all the time.
A whopping 3 turnovers already in this game for Queensland. That might have been a false start. Head referee Mark Louie.
Is now Hanky on the field.
False start, number 14, Queensland. 5-yard penalty. False down.
I tell you what, Mitch, I'm just loving Mark Louie there with the announcer. Oh, look, there's a look at the ankle from Caldwell. He rolled it quite badly. Very, very heavily taped up. It was lucky it wasn't a knee.
Very fortunate. That leg whip by Tessa Atkinson there. Well out of bounds, and now heavy pressure on the outside.
Come back.
As Caldwell takes a shot down the field. No hope there.
I'll tell you what, though, Mitch, we have a look at this replay. The great job by Caldwell, standing there tall. Let's have a look if we see it. Roll to the right, great throw under pressure. Come back and get the ball. Oh, right through the hands. That could have been something. I think that's the way it's gone to tonight for the Brigade.
Just get the feeling they don't have the athletes that you see on the other rosters. That was just a plain drop by Cassara Swift on the sideline. Now a 2nd and 15 from the Queensland 10. Quick pass out in the flat. That went to Monique Bell, the backup quarterback that we saw in the first half. That'll go for about 7 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice little play. Just a nice little swing pass. Comet, bubble, whatever you want to call it. Just chip away 5 yards. It basically says we can do some things, and WA need to defend that. So that's not bad. Let's see what they keep doing.
Yeah, there's no 21-point play in the playbook, so might as well kind of work your way down the field. Now Queensland looking at a 3rd and 8 play.
Here they come.
Caldwell pitch right. You've got a reverse here. That's Cassara Swift. Just cannot get to the outside, but she did manage 5 yards. Tessa Atkinson on the stop.
It's almost one of those things where Swift had some room to the left and could have taken it a bit further. Great play, nice handoff there. Swift, get left. And she brings it up. Just to let people know, there aren't many people on the sideline, so haul butt for the sideline. All the big people are in the middle.
He had Caldwell leading the blocking. Just did not allow her to get in front.
Got to set that up better.
Now a crucial 4th and 3 for Queensland. Caldwell under center, barking. Another quick pass to the left side. No chance there. That intended for Stephanie Schenken. And WA will take over, John.
Interesting play calling there, Mitch. I mean, you only got to get 3 yards. You've been doing well with the sort of off guard to the right, or the quarterback keeps have been doing really well. They obviously haven't practiced that the bubble screen or the comet screen a lot, and that pass was thrown well in front of the receiver.
Now you've turned the ball over on your side of the field. Turnbull not taking, and you've got to love that about J.R. Rogers. He's keeping his foot on the throttle here. They're taking shots down the field still.
And absolutely, I think this is the time that he needs to do that. He can test it out. But as we saw that Turnbull, the mechanics were terrible there. That elbow was almost down near her hips. You've got to keep that elbow nice and high, that release nice and high, and look for the open receiver.
Great look inside the huddle for WA. as the 20-year-old quarterback, Leah Turnbull, showing her leadership skills, maturing into one of the best signal callers in Australia. Now a handoff again to Tegan Brown on the left side.
Oh, good blocking.
And what an explosion by Brown. That went for 16 yards all the way down to the Queensland 6.
Really nice job of just simple one-on-one blocking. Have a look at this. Great snap, great handoff, pick up a block, 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 block. Really nice job, well coached. And a really good job of the running back using the blockers.
And a great scheme by J.R. Rogers in this WA offense. Once again going to Brown, this time on the right side with lead blockers.
At the pulling guard, she's shoulder in.
It looked like she hit that pylon.
Oh, it's on. The biff.
Tony Tapui and Tegan Brown getting into it, and looked like she crossed the pylon for 6.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tapui though, she's got every right to be angry. Really nice job out in front there. That's a perfectly legal tackle out to the sideline there. And I think one of the WA players grabbed Tapui's face mask, and that's what she was angry about.
Bit of frustration setting in for Queensland as they're down now 33-0 at home.
Not where you want to be, Mitch.
Now WA going to try to convert a 2-point conversion here. A little bit of confusion, nothing there, and Turnbull gets stood up.
There you go.
Queensland showing some life defensively.
That was a good team effort from the Brigade there.
Nonetheless, WA, as I said, is up 33 points now. And you got to start wondering when do you start pulling out some of these starters for WA?
A good call, Mitch. I mean, it depends on really what you want to achieve, or how much do you start showing on offense, knowing that the likes of the Maidens and the Surge are watching.
Tessa Atkinson now. That WA defense pinning their ears back. Little pitch out to Marfinell, cutting back to the right side. And a great open field tackle by Melissa Budd. Those are the two corners we talked about in the first half, John. Tosh Sergi and Melissa Budd.
Melissa Budd tonight, man, 3 tackles, sensational. Any kids, people that play American football, look at the backside contain. They don't follow the play. They know that they have a job to do. Budd with just containing anything that comes back that way. That's just awesome.
Now a 2nd and 8 as Caldwell looks over that defense. Back in the pocket, nothing there. That pocket collapsed around her, and that was Steph Lothberg. We talked about her earlier, coming off the ACL surgery. This is her first action of the season.
That offensive line have got to give Caldwell time. She doesn't even have time to set her feet, let alone plan to look for something else before there's too much pressure. Either the game's got to be called differently by the coaches, Mitch, the game plan's got to change, or there's got to be some blocking up front, but actually let Caldwell get the pass off.
Absolutely no continuity or tempo to this offense at this point. As we near the end of the 3rd quarter, there's a little pitch to the left side. Marfinell not finding anything on the left. Now finds a seam up the middle. Still cranking those feet. And that'll go for about 10 yards as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Marfinell showing some life for this Queensland team. But it has been all WA. Especially this defense pitching an absolute shutout here on the Gold Coast. Swarming to the ball. We are back to the Gold Coast. Only 8 minutes remain. And Queensland trying to show some hope here. As Jane Caldwell's under center. A little bit of a false start in the backfield. No flags. Tamar Fennell now working that left side. And she gets about 5 yards, John.
Woo, I tell you what, Tamar has earned her money tonight. She should be having a Radox bath, as we say, some Gatorade, some Powerade. She's been under pressure all night. It's just been Tamar, just running her off.
Adrian Purnell just over pursuing there a little bit.
And we tell you, Mitch, as we said, you know, they forecast, 40 degrees today, which I'm not sure in your language is, 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a very, very hot day today.
It is a brutal night here, a little bit of humidity. Luckily, these ladies are hydrated. You don't see a lot of cramping tonight. Now a 1st and 10 play from the Western Australia 23. Inside handoff to Cody House, the big tight end. And she muscles her way for about 9 yards.
I'm wondering why we haven't seen this the whole game. It's just nice, simple plays, getting the yards. Where's this play calling been? Have a look, nice little inside handoff there. Cody House to the outside. Boom! Got jacked up to the outside. Humidity is high with a chance of pain.
And she just lit up Tosh Sergey, that right corner. That is a lot of muscle coming downhill.
Especially for a corner. Not a bad job, though. I'm impressed with these WA corners. Very good.
Great play calling now. A very manageable 2nd and 1 from the Western Australia 14-yard line. And try the flat again. That was dropped once again. We saw a bit of that in the first half. That pass intended for number 16, Steph Shankin.
Oh, Steph's got to make this catch. It's an look, as we used to say, you put a wobble on it so you could see it better. But Steph's got to make that catch.
Now a 3rd and 1. Jane Caldwell needs to get something going here. If for nothing else, just a bit of pride. Try that left side again. Quick screen. That one to Tamar Fennell. And Fennell grabs about 6 yards, and that'll move the sticks for Queensland.
Tamar's has been sensational tonight for the Brigade.
Big 1st and goal, and there's Luke Chapman. Been a rough season for him thus far.
Really rough, and I tell you what, Mitch, I'd be interested to see, is he still going to be around next year? Is it the offensive coordinator? Is it the defensive coordinator? Do they need to change the whole coaching staff or even the players? Do they need to go out and get bigger, faster players to match in this competition?
That's Tamar Fennell trying the left side. She'll pick up about 2 yards. And yeah, that's the question. Do you need a coaching overhaul here in Queensland? Do you need an entire player roster overhaul? Or is it all too early to panic, considering it's only the 2nd game of the season? Do you wait to see if this roster develops with this coaching staff? Or is it time to hit that panic button?
And that's the $64 million question, Mitch. I think it's one of those things. This is not a 16-game season where you bench people straight away and just go out and get a new roster. It's only a couple of games. It's the first time they've been playing in Australia. Pan out and see how it goes.
Now a 2nd and goal. Little pitch out to the right by Tamar Fennell, and she loses the ball. And that is Tegan Brown. It will be WA ball. An absolute disaster. And you certainly didn't expect that from Tamar Fennell.
Absolutely, Mitch. But I tell you what, I feel so sorry for her. It's just been run, run, run. Give it to Tamar. She has carried this team. She must be exhausted. I know they're all athletes, but there's a point where you only run someone so many times that she needs a break. That's just it's unfortunate. I thought she's played sensational tonight.
It has been a frustrating night tonight for the Queensland Brigade. It started early. Miscues and throws, missed block assignments. It has just been one that this is the game film you want to take and you want to burn it, John.
Absolutely. There'll be a lot of people going, you know, I never want to see this again. And there'll be some people going, Mitch, I tell you, they'll look at it and go, I want to watch it again and again so I can improve on this. But I think it's just, it comes down to mental attitude. I just don't think the Brigade mentally were there tonight.
As they haven't been all season. That's a fake handoff, bootleg right. That's Leah Turnbull. And no, folks, don't adjust your sets. That is not slow motion. That is real live action. Leah Turnbull, 0 to 40 as soon as she can.
She got the turbo, she got the NOS, she got the nitrous. She's done quite well tonight, but she's actually, it's been interesting to see Coach JR just pull back a little. He hasn't taken those shots down the field now. So whether it's a case of the game plan, with, you know, we're under 4 minutes to go, let's just get the running game going again, see how Turnbull goes.
Turnbull did manage to pick up 8 yards there. Now Adrian Purnell again. He's going to try the right side. And that went for 9 yards. What a night Adrian Purnell's having, John.
I tell you what, did you guys do all right, eh? The old imports. You guys have been playing for this for a while. They're doing a great job. And that's one thing I hate to see from the Brigade point of view, is there were so many Brigade players trailing there. So you obviously, as a defense, you want to be out in front stopping them. But the WA people are just going to the sideline, getting up the side. Great running.
Another big note for WA with all the center mishap they had with Elise Chapman. Quietly, Chapman's having a great night at the center position.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Mitch, because, yeah, absolutely. That game against the Maidens, and then Coach JR said they'd worked on it all week, and then we saw them against New South Wales. Still those problems there. Tonight, the snaps from the centre has been fantastic. And I think, we're really starting to see a really good rhythm.
And what do they say about O-line women in this case? If you don't hear from them, they're having a great night. Hi, Embry doing well defensively. That is a problem, John, when your secondary's leading you in tackles.
Oh, too right.
Now a 1st and 10 play.
Here we go.
This one to Tessa Atkinson. No, that's Tammy West. And West gets out almost 17 yards on that play. They tend to do a lot of reverses with West.
Oh, and I'm loving it too. It's working so well. Just with your tight end reverses or your receiver reverses here, it takes a long time to develop. We did see this against the Maidens game. Boom. Nice job.
4 angles by Queensland. That backside corner did not stay home. Those are some of the challenges they've got to fix here. Now a 1st and goal pass. That one incomplete. We are officially now at the 2-minute mark in a game that has been dominated throughout by WA as they are up 33-0. Back to Skilled Park Stadium inside of 2 minutes remaining in this one. And John, do we have a matchup next week in Melbourne?
Love it.
Holly Greenwood in the Vic Maidens up against Shari Onley and the New South Wales Surge. That is going to be nothing short of a bloodbath, John.
I can't wait for the Surge O versus the Vic D.
Now Sarah Godfrey's down on the field with Tegan Brown.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on the sideline with Tegan Brown. You guys are really starting to gel as a team. What's the next step for you guys?
Do you know what? Each game we played, we've stepped up, we're fixing the errors, and we're just going to keep smashing it. Like, we're getting the sweet passes into the sweet spot, and it's just going to continue from here.
Doing an amazing job out there.
It's so much fun out there. It's unreal.
That's what we like to hear. Back to you guys.
I think, look, she takes the spot on. They've fixed the errors, and, we've seen very, very minimal errors tonight from WA.
Now Leah Turnbull in the shotgun. Emery trying to hit the gap. That's a little handoff to Tessa Atkinson. Big stick. That looked like Monique Bell that came up from the safety position.
He's done well tonight, Bell. Been all over the field making some critical tackles, and it's good to see the Brigade still trying to hit as hard as they can.
Trying to show some life. Maybe put something on game film to impress the coaches because nothing else has impressed tonight. That's a bad snap. Sure enough, we talked about it earlier that Elise Chapman was having a great night.
I'm sorry, Mitch. I must have jinxed them. My bad.
That looked like the ball actually hit Chapman's right leg coming out.
Just to make sure she's in the shotgun, not under center.
Now Leah Turnbull, 2nd and goal. There's a handoff. This one goes to Tessa Atkinson. Atkinson gets it in. Just like that, WA extends it to 39-0.
Oh, Tessa, you need to go out and buy your wide receiver, Tegan Brown, I think it is, a bottle of champagne or a nice rich one. What a great block. Tegan Brown to seal that corner, kick it to the outside, and Tessa gets in for the score. Nice job all round.
At Queensland secondary looking like they've been hit with a Mack truck.
They're just simply getting outblocked and outplayed.
Definitely a size difference between these two clubs. Now the 2-point attempt. Oh. That's Adrian Purnell practically walking into the end zone. This is just far too easy.
The Brigade team's just got to be tired.
It has been a physical matchup here. There's Purnell tapping herself out, John. Both teams have absolutely beat up on each other tonight. Let's listen into some of the impact. Back and forth, John. That's the one thing that's been consistent. It's been very aggressive down there.
It's been very aggressive both ways, I think. And that's been the impressive thing tonight with the humidity, with the heat.
Now a 1st and 10 shot down the field.
What?
That was intended for Kasara Swift, but they were not on the same page, John.
I'll just let you know, Kasara, it was a pass, and you might want to look for the ball. It was a really nice job by Caldwell. The pass was out front. Swift had a step, but she wasn't looking in the right direction.
Looked like Caldwell was working the sideline, and Swift was turned inside. Nonetheless, it is just a train wreck here in Queensland right now. Now a 2nd and 10. Caldwell in the pocket, gonna swing to the right here, trying to get to the outside and avoiding that hit.
Good job too. I mean, look, that's very evident right there. Caldwell tonight, 3 completions, 11 attempts, 2 intercepts, 18 yards, and I've never heard of this, a 0% rating as a quarterback. I've never heard of that before.
That's not one you want to put up on your mantle. Like I said, this is game film that you want to learn from and then burn. Fennell having a decent night with 55 yards.
I think she's like 4.3 average. I mean, that's decent. For any team, that's decent.
Now a 3rd and 7, looks to be a false start. That's going to go against Queensland.
Concentration. Well, there's our yellow hanky. Yeah, concentration. This late in the game, the conditions, the score.
False start. Number 1, Queensland. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down still.
That's Tamar Fennell. That is one of your leaders. When she's making one of those mistakes, you're officially off the track.
Well, I give it to her. She's tired. She's earned a mistake.
Now heavy pressure on Caldwell. Almost intercepted by Tosh Sergey.
Throwing into double coverage there, Mitch. There's a point where you just can't give up. I mean, the Brigade can chip away. We've seen them do the short stuff. I think they're trying to take too much. They're trying to get too much done, and it could end in more disaster.
Chipping away at a 41-0 lead.
Some sort of respect. You got to get something back. Just prove that you can do it.
Now 4th and 12. Little pitch out right now. You got a reverse coming. And that's Kasara Swift, who's had an active 4th quarter. That is not going to get there, and WA will take over on downs and end the misery of Queensland.
Gee, that was awesome pursuit angles from WA. They had that shut down.
And now Adrian Purnell, a fire plug. We got her mic'd up tonight.
There's block for tomorrow, so whoever the corner is that has that receiver, take the block on and make that bitch run sideways. Hey, talk shit to them because they talking shit to us. Hey, watch out now. Chill out. Chill out. Hey, gotta get it how you live, baby. Gotta get it how you live, baby. Hey, but I bet you won't win this game, though. But I bet your sorry-ass quarterback can't throw, though.
Purnell tonight, she's done well. I think 2 tackles, 1 assist, and she's got a sack. You'd be happy with that.
Now WA just content to take a knee and run this one out.
Oh, the crowd.
The crowd wants more misery, John. They're not happy with the 41-0 score.
Yeah, I want more plays too. They don't take a knee.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll just have to run maybe 2 more plays. Leah Turnbull, a respectable season. Thrown for more, I believe, more touchdowns than anybody else in the league at this point.
Yeah, 224 yards. Not bad. She's getting there every week. She's getting better.
That is what's happening. A little bit of frustration there still.
Oh, here we go.
And now we've got punches blowing between Purnell.
Is that McCabe, I think?
Alex McCabe on the Queensland side. And this is when you're most prone to this type of activity, John, when both sides are kind of checked out and one side's really upset and frustrated.
Yeah, look, I can understand that. See what Mark Louis got the call there, but
personal foul, number 4, Western Australia. Penalties offset. 2nd down.
That was on McCabe?
That was on Alex McCabe and Adrian Purnell. Those will be offsetting penalties.
Yeah, look, there's a I don't know what we call it, an honor code. When you're going to take a knee, you don't do anything stupid like that.
And now we're in shotgun here. It looks like WA now is going to go to the end zone. Not sure about the logic there, John. You were just taking knees on the 2 previous plays.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, you know what that says to me is attitude. it was a case of we took a knee, you didn't like it, bugger you, we're going to go downtown and try and score on you.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're a little upset at the shots that Alex McCabe took. And now they're going to try to score, I guess.
I know Coach JR, and he's a little bit feisty like that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look to the end zone again, this time down the middle. Just overshot, it looked like Tessa Atkinson or Tegan Brown. So they are not content to go back to Perth at 41-0. And what a night Tegan Brown has had. 68 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. Every time she's touched the ball, it's gone for at least 14 yards.
And she's really filled that void that we were worried about with Brittany.
Brittany Weir coming off that ankle injury. Obviously, they'd hope to have her back by the Feb 1 rematch against Queensland. That one at NIB Stadium in Perth.
I know Tegan might have something to say about that.
Good news is WA has multiple options offensively now. And this should be the last play of the game. That's Tegan Brown.
Let's hope it ends well. We don't want to see any biff here. It's been a long day at the office for both teams.
Big win for WA. This will pretty much catapult them to the Legends Cup, or at least put them in a really good position.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, this puts the pressure on Victoria and New South Wales. I mean, they're playing for spots in the grand final.
Absolutely. With this win and a win on Feb 1, WA will represent in the Legends Cup. And Jane Caldwell, just a tough season, and not the way you want to open up at home, John.
No, I think I've worked it out. She's trying to do too much mentally. She's got to lead the team, throw the passes, call the plays, and I think she just needs to take one simple step at a time and not be so, mentally confused.
And there's an embrace by Tamar Fennell and Adrian Purnell, the U.S. imports. It has been all WA tonight, 41-0. And for Queensland, bitter disgust and frustration. For John Rowe, Sarah Godfrey, our producer Gino Payne, our director Patrick Rulich, this is Mitch Mortaza. We will see you next week on LFL Football Night.